Hey guys, Alex and Dad from Seventh Films back again with Doctor Who. Last time around we had The Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone. What was that one about?
I can't remember how the angels got aboard a ship. Somebody was looking for them, trying to transport one. Anyway, the ship crashes, or is somehow crashed, and the Doctor and Amy show up, as does River Song and a group of militant priests. It was all very confusing. But the angels continue to advance, and the Doctor manages to blow up a gravity sphere, which lets them escape temporarily from the angels. And Amy gets the image of an angel in her eyes and spends the rest of the episode with her eyes closed. But something else is weird, very weird, is going on, because as the soldiers go out to try to find the Doctor and River, they disappear, and the people who are left behind don't even remember that they were there until they're all gone except for Amy. And anyway, they manage to escape somehow. But if I recall, the upshot of 2 episodes was there was still the crack in time and space that we saw in the first episode, the 11th hour.
Yep.
That showed up in Amy's wall.
Yeah, Amy's crack. So
let's not go there.
You're like 5 years too late on that. So that became a meme on the channel a long time ago. So
that's unfortunate.
It's just how things roll. So yeah, that's pretty much where we left off. And with River saying that they'll meet her again when the Pandorica opens. So that's our little tease for later. So
and then we watched the minisode where Amy was trying to find out about the Doctor's previous companions and noticed that most of them were young girls.
Yeah, so Amy was trying to seduce the Doctor, and then they went aboard the TARDIS. She figured out that she was not the first companion, figured out why he takes companions in the first place, and then at the end, they are on their way to find Rory so that the Doctor can get Amy all sorted out, basically. So that's pretty much where we left off. Now, the folks at home can't see this unless I put it up on screen. But on the DVDs for this season, different from what they were in the David Tennant era, they always have an image on the episode selection screen from one of the episodes. So on the last disc that we had, which was the first 5 episodes of this season, it was a shot of the Doctor when he's sitting in the chair in the last episode. This disc, which is episode 6 through 10, this disc has a shot of one of the monsters from one of the upcoming episodes. And while the episode titles are all fine, this would be a huge spoiler of a returning monster, so I have just hastily opened up Notepad over the screen. So
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, so that's a spoiler wall so that you don't get spoiled. It's not this episode, so I'm gonna have to keep this up for a little bit. But I'm trying to. I try, even though at a point I feel like I shouldn't continue my efforts to keep you not spoiled, because again, I will remind you that some days I will go into the living room and I will hear him listening to clips of future Doctor Who episodes that he has not seen. He doesn't care. He is of another generation that doesn't care about spoilers like the rest of us do.
And also, I have a short-term memory problem.
Yeah.
And those clips are not stuff that I go looking for. They just show up on my Facebook feed. Because, I post all of our stuff on my Facebook page. And there are probably half a dozen to a dozen people who are friends of mine who watch those. So, I just do that. And then because the algorithm says, oh, this guy likes Doctor Who, it'll show me a reel of, 2 minutes of a Doctor Who. And so that's why I don't go looking for them.
Oh, yeah. Excuses. So that is, though, why I just don't watch Doctor Who content on my YouTube channel anymore, on my account, because it's just it will. I mean, you're right. That's exactly how the algorithm on any site works. It's just you watch this one thing one time. Well, here's the next 5 years. We're going to be serving you nothing but that. So it gets very, very tricky. So, and Twitter does that too, even if you don't look at anything. Because Twitter, I must say, and I don't want to touch on current events, but Twitter over the past couple days has been filled with a certain something that happened in the United States. And I was very grateful for yesterday because there was a new Nintendo Direct, which was a live stream where they announced all their new games, and it was great because everybody stopped talking about current events and started talking about Nintendo again on my Twitter account, and that's more what I want to see, you know? So, actually, I would take people talking about Doctor Who over current events, so... Anywho. You got anything else?
Vampires of Venice. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, so we might as well just get right to it. So you can close your eyes for a sec, and I will click on the episode. All right, you're good.
Okay. 1580. Oh, this is about Mask of the Mandragora time, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
I believe protecting the future of one's own is a sacred duty.
Signora, she is my world.
And this is roughly the time of Queen Elizabeth I in England.
Then we will take your world. Say goodbye to your daughter.
Now, Signora.
Why wait? Time ticks.
We are taking your world.
Time ticks. Do they have clocks as we know them?
Make me proud.
Oh, no.
Rory! That's a relief. Thought I burst out of the wrong cake again. That reminds me, there's a girl standing outside in a bikini. Could someone let her in and give her a jumper? Lucy, lovely girl. Diabetic. She tried to kiss me.
What?
Tell you what, though, you're a lucky man. She's a great kisser.
This went better in my head.
Funny how you can say something in your head and it sounds fine.
Yeah, let's just cut to the intro already.
It's a lot to take in, isn't it? Tiny box, huge room inside. What's that about? Let me explain.
It's another dimension.
It's basically another dimension. What?
After what happened with Prisoner Zero, I've been reading up on all the latest scientific theories. FTL travel, parallel universes.
I like the bit when someone says it's bigger on the inside. I always look forward to that.
Wait.
So, this date.
How about somewhere romantic?
Just smell the romantic air. The smell of goats and feces.
Ah, you gotta love Venice. So many people did. Byron, Napoleon, Casanova. That reminds me.
Didn't Tenet play Casanova?
That's all right. Casanova doesn't get born for
Somebody
145
did. One of
years.
these
Don't want to run
doctors
into him.
I
I have a
think.
chicken.
No, Signora Calvieri has seen it with her own eyes. Streets are piled high with bodies, she said.
Did she now?
It was because Nosferatu came through and brought the plague.
Now, there were instances of plague on and off up through the 1600s, if I recall correctly.
What was that about?
He's already on the case.
I hate it when he does that.
Have to kick him.
My daughter! Isabella! I demand you let me see my daughter!
He's so thin he could go through those bars.
Well, they said Tenet was thin.
Why don't you check this out? Library card, of course. It's with these. I need to spare.
Yeah, Rory has the psychic paper.
City? Why shut down the city unless
We shall call for the steward. If you're lucky.
Okay, that's cue to leave.
Tell me the whole plan. One day that'll work.
I'll be there 3-4 hours tops.
No. Can't keep happening like this. This is how they go.
Enough gunpowder there to blow up Parliament.
Yeah.
But that's still another 50 to 100 years in the future.
Yeah.
Weird. You can be my brother.
Why is him being a brother weird? But with me, it's okay. Actually, I thought you were her fiancé.
Yeah, that's not helping.
This whole thing is mental. They're vampires, for God's sake.
We hope.
Yeah.
So if they're not vampires...
Vampires he can deal with.
I'm a gondola driver, so money's a bit tight.
Did he have this written on his hand?
So having my sister...
I'll be fine.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Hey, Amy!
She's got red hair, which is highly unusual in this time, especially in Italy. So
They come at night. They gather around my bed and they take me to a room with this green light and a chair with straps, as if for a surgeon. What happens in there? I wake up here. And the sunlight burns my skin like candle wax.
bloodletting was a very common remedy for surgeons at this point. There's still the idea that the body was made up of humors. Maurice Stagg.
They had to swap clothes. Where else are they going to get an outfit for Rory?
We're here.
Nice sets.
Yeah.
You said she kissed you. Now.
Do you want to do this?
Now. I have a right to know. I'm getting married in 430 years.
And you kissed her back? No. I kissed her now. Funny.
Doesn't count.
Rory.
Psychic paper. Do you really think that would work on me?
It normally works on everyone.
I can't see a thing. Just as well. I brought this then. Ultraviolet portable sunlight. Yours is bigger than mine. Let's not go there.
Did you fall through the camera?
Mother. You know what's dangerous about you? It's not that you make people take risks, it's that you make them want to impress you. You make it so they don't want to let you down. You have no idea how dangerous you make people to themselves when you're around.
Ouch.
Eh.
And if I survive?
Then there are 10,000 husbands waiting for you in the water. Yeah, sorry. I'm kind of engaged.
Oh! Kicked her.
Okay. Alien cockroach.
They're not vampires. What? I saw them, I saw her. They're not vampires. They're aliens.
So are vampires.
That's good news. What is wrong with you people?
Do you expect me to drown? I'm Venetian. I can swim. We can all swim.
No, we expect you to die.
Now leave us.
She looks a little like Sigourney Weaver.
Eh.
Where are you from?
Gallifrey.
You should be in a museum.
I am
Or in
the
a
museum.
mausoleum.
Where's Isabella?
Isabella?
The girl who saved my friend.
Oh, deserters must be executed. Any general will tell you that. I need an answer, Doctor. A partnership.
Did he call himself the Doctor?
I don't remember.
He just said Gallifrey.
Attend! The storm is coming!
Not much of a fish.
Yeah. This is crabfish.
Only the male offspring survived the journey here. She's got 10,000 children swimming around the canals waiting for Mum to make them some compatible girlfriends. I mean, I've been around a bit, but really, that's... Like I said, they're not vampires. Fish from space.
They get dried out in the sunlight. They certainly act like vampires.
Are we on the second floor?
Yeah, they can jump good.
All that gunpowder.
Get away from the door!
You should see fish parts.
You can't stop her on your own.
We don't discuss this. I tell you to do something, Amy, and you do it. Huh?
Thank you.
Welcome.
I have to go do this by myself.
Amy! Run!
They're not vampires.
The only thing I've seen uglier than you is your mum.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yo, mama.
No.
Did you just say something about Mummy?
I have a broom.
Rule number one in fighting, though, don't leave somebody behind you.
Careful!
Wrong end.
Yeah.
This way, bring it this way!
Use the chickens to your advantage. Oh, good job. Fish dust.
Why did you make the sign of a cross, you numpty?
Oh, right. I'm being you now, am I?
Now we go help the doctor.
Good review. 8 out of 10. Could use some improvement, but...
So 1 minute, it's all you make people a danger to themselves, and the next it's we're not leaving you. But if one of you gets squashed or blown up or eaten, who gets...
You know what? Argue later.
Shut up!
Now I can think. This is what it's like in LA whenever it rains. People just go crazy on the streets.
It's like the 10th Doctor on top of the Empire State Building. Just stick something in the gears. Like your sonic screwdriver.
You just gotta find the off switch.
Can your conscience carry the weight of another dead race? Remember us. Dream of us.
Rory, listen to that.
What? All I can hear is silence.
There were cracks. Through some we saw silence and the end of all things.
Alrighty.
Well, before Rosanna said it there at the end, I was thinking he literally has just committed genocide. Although they did it themselves. She is the one who actually ultimately ended up killing herself.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, she said, can you tolerate another dead race? Just like you supposedly killed off the Daleks and the Time Lords and everybody else.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing is, we don't know how long their lifespan is, so the waters of Venice are going to be a little dangerous for a bit until all 10,000 of her sons all die off. But, I mean, in theory, well, I guess if there was a different way of making female fish people, they would have found a less destructive way than destroying all of Venice, so...
But yeah, I mean, that's do you sacrifice the fish people in order to save the 200,000 population of Venice? And to him, that's a trade he would make. He doesn't like it. I mean, it's very obvious that he doesn't like it. Tries to stop her. But she made the choice.
Oh, yeah. Nothing can come at the cost of a different life. So yeah, that's our vampires in Venice.
And again, and I hate to be picky about this, especially since now they have obviously got a lot of money to do special effects. It's the same problem that I had in the 10th Doctor story where the evolutionized guy went back to a scorpion instead of an ape. Right. And I understand, fish don't walk. I mean, there are actually some walking fish even to this day, and they wouldn't look quite as scary as that. But they could have done something other than just a fish head on an insectoid body.
Yeah.
That didn't make much sense.
Yeah, I mean, it is a strange design. I mean, it's just from another planet. At least with that, you could at least say it's like, well, this is from space. They're from another planet. Whereas with Lazarus, it's like, something lost within the DNA of a human turned him into the Scorpion King. So it's just like, at least this one you can explain away a bit more. But it's like, all right, I guess that's a fish. It's got a fish head.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, the fish are closer to reptiles and amphibians than they are to humans. So there could have been some way to make that less insectoid, is all I'm saying. I mean, that's literally the only real problem that I have with the story. Once again, the BBC costuming, and I don't know where they filmed that, but again, looked very much 15th century. A lot of, I don't think that was an actual set that they built. They probably found some place that still had remnants of would that have been a 16th century castle or environment. Again, you know how we love things that look historical, whether they're actual historical or not. The costumes were wonderful. The acting, the Queen and her son, and Carlo, and again, Carlo is a human being. Why is he putting up with this? I mean, at the end, he's not one of them. He's trying to steal all the gold.
Yeah, they never really explain. He's just a guy that works for them, basically. And he's trying to get out of Venice while he still can. So,
but again, the humor, adding in the humor, because in most modern horror stories, they have to add some humor to let you relax, so that the next scare will be that much scarier. So again, it's well done, it's well written. I like the idea that they're continuing pretty much in every episode to talk about. There are cracks in the wall of time and space. Something is coming in now. In addition to the Pandorica, we have the Silence. Yeah. I noticed they didn't capitalize it in the subtitles, but that appears to be something down the line. So I like the fact that it was introduced earlier, not just right there at the end. She had talked about it earlier, and then at the very end, you hear the bustle and noise of the city, and then suddenly he goes, "Wait a minute."
Yeah.
Why did it suddenly go quiet?
It's very similar to the Gelf, the Ninth Doctor episode, where, for them, they are this remnant species that escaped the Time War, and they wanted to rebuild on Earth. But here, it's interesting that it's like, they escaped from their planet, which was swallowed by the cracks in space and time, and Silence fell, and they were able to escape all of that and make it to Venice. But it's interesting because, unlike with that one, where that was, they escaped this event that has taken place before the season, this time it's like, we escaped an event that has not happened yet in the show. We don't know what this giant explosion that they talked about last episode is, where something monumentally catastrophic happened. All of these cracks in space and time formed, and it's starting to suck everything in and erase different things. But we have not gotten to that point yet. All we know is, at that point, something will happen where the Doctor and Riversong will be at something called the Pandorica, which will open, and at that point, silence will fall. That's all we know about it. Okay. So, but it's very interesting. This is probably one of the best mystery boxes that we've had or will have with the season, because a lot of the previous seasons were very subtle about it. It's just like, oh, if you notice they're saying that bad wolf a couple times, or they're talking about some Harold Saxon guy. What's going on there? You know?
This again, like you said, it's very subtle, but I'm again glad that they are mentioning it early in the episodes and not leaving it to the very end, because then you're going, where did that come from? But the fact that they sprinkle mentions of it, and not just visual, like the Harold Saxon signs. I missed most of those. And the Bad Wolf, I didn't miss that because it was pointed out. Bad Wolf again. So anyway, but I'm enjoying this a little bit more. And again, a lot of people complain that as an American, I want things spelled out for me. It's not that I want them spelled out. It's just that I'm not looking for it. I'm not looking for a season arc, and maybe I should be. But when somebody says something and that catches my ear or catches my eye, then I go, oh, okay. Let me say, oh, wait, they just mentioned that again. So it's a little more helpful to somebody, my generation maybe.
Yeah, and it does in future seasons become almost a problem where it's like, okay, they're doing, what's this season's mystery box? What are they doing? But with this one, it works so well because, the other seasons, it was very, very subtle. Here, it's more interconnected into the DNA of this season, I mean, just the fact that last episode was almost primarily dealing with the crack that was happening. It's like it almost stopped being about the Weeping Angels and became more about the crack in space and time. So it's just like seeing more and more of that being interweaved this season, I just think works out really well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and it is also funny watching this again, because now I know that there are actually vampires in Doctor Who. We saw them, that was the episode where they were... I think that was when they were... After they had picked up Adric in the E-Space dimension. Yeah. And then they had the vampire... The vampire episode. It was State of Decay, I think. And then they had... what was it? Warrior's Gate? When they escaped the other dimension.
You said the words.
Which... Again,
no comments about Warrior's Gate.
Well, I was gonna make a comment about it.
Please, people who are going to comment, please don't rehash our reaction to Warrior's Gate.
Despite the fact that it is almost without a doubt the worst episode of Doctor Who ever created, but you don't have to go into that in the comments anyway.
Right.
I did, but anyway, but that was that sort of. The E-Space trilogy, I think, is what they called those 3 stories, of which only the vampire one was any good, really. I don't remember Adric being like a problem in that episode either. So,
and wasn't that also set in sort of a medieval Renaissance setting?
Yeah, because it was like, which is still different from, was it the Androids of Tara, which was another one of those. It's the Middle Ages in space, and it's like, all right, so. But yeah, that was more of a sort of middle-aged... I mean, I guess it just makes sense. If you're going to do vampires, you got to do something like that. So, I remember I saw a joke about vampires where it's like, every time they portray vampires in fiction, they always have, like, money. Why don't they ever show, like, a poor vampire that doesn't have anything? And it's like, brother, if you've been alive for over 100 years and you still don't have money, like, what is the point of why are you alive at that point? It's just like...
In that series of sci-fi fantasy novels that I read during the pandemic by Kevin Hearn, they explain that. The fact that they have lived so long has allowed them to, even if they acquire only a small amount of money in what would be a normal lifetime, they then figure out ways to increase that money either through investments or buying up shipping so that they can get the wealth from that. It's just that because of their incredibly long lives, they are able then to accumulate more than usually an average person would. would, other than in modern times where, we have these multi-billionaires who literally don't need to make another dime because the money they already have has been invested, and they're making literally millions and sometimes billions of dollars simply off of their investments. So they're not working for money, their money is working for them. So.
Yeah, but Netflix still has to raise in price. Yeah. So, and that's just an example of Netflix. They will do everything. It's the great conundrum that we're going to face at some point. I feel like in the next 5 years, everything is just going to collapse because it's like, well, the billionaires, they want all the money, so they squeeze all the money they can out of the consumer, but then they don't pay the consumer. So it's like the money has to cycle. You can't just get it all, because otherwise we're going to stop paying for things. And it's just, I don't know. But that's why Mark Zuckerberg's making a compound in Hawaii so that when the nukes go off, he'll be fine. So
he won't. Nobody will be safe if the nukes go off. And I know that there's the theory that the southern hemisphere will be safe enough, but again,
it's going to be good.
If we have a nuclear war, it's going to create a nuclear winter, which will be just like the extinction of the dinosaurs. The impact of the meteor off of the coast of Yucatan did not kill the dinosaurs. What killed them was the hundreds, if not thousands, of years of debris floating around in the atmosphere, blocking out the sun, cooling it off. They could not survive the cold temperatures, which allowed for the rise of the mammals and the amphibians and the others that were somewhat more inoculated, as it were, to the cold, and that's why we have the species that we have today.
Well, yeah. So, I remember, this is completely off topic, and we'll get back to Doctor Who in a sec. But
why?
How many times have I said that? If I had the time, I would go through and make a compilation of every time I've said, we're getting off topic, and we'll get back to Doctor Who in a sec. But anyway, I saw a video one time that was talking about what if a rogue star sort of passed through the solar system, and it was a very interesting thing that it would just be this. It doesn't even have to be a very big star; it could just be like a little red dwarf that just passes close enough through the solar system, and it just takes the Earth and just yoinks it out of its orbit, and there it goes, and Earth just becomes a rogue planet. And it's just the further and further it gets from the sun, the colder and colder it would get, and it's life would not survive normally on Earth. And at least at the end they said, it's well, here's the good news, is scientists would see that coming a million years in advance, so far in advance that it's there would be enough time to prep. Now, granted, would we do that? I don't know, but and this isn't something we can just send Bruce Willis up in a spaceship to go fix it, but that's the thing. It's there would be plans, and it's entirely possible that there could be bunkers on the Earth to sustain life while as it goes rogue, until eventually perhaps we can get out, find a different planet, nearby, and then the Earth just becomes this legend and stuff. So I don't know.
There's something very similar to that at the end of the film Dr. Strangelove, where they realize that because the Soviets have built a fail-safe system that's basically a doomsday machine, that if, for example, any nuclear bomb goes off over the Soviet Union, it will trigger the doomsday device, which will literally blow up the rest of the world. And the Americans, accidentally do that, but the military then tells the President of the United States, President Muffley, by the way, played by Peter Sellers, beautiful, wonderful British actor, that they have created, just like you said, these bunkers in a huge mine shaft. And they get into a big argument right at the end of the film where they say, what if the Soviets are doing that too? And just like they've been arguing earlier in the film about we cannot allow a nuclear gap, we cannot let the Russians have more nukes than we have, one of the last lines in the movie is, we cannot allow a mine shaft gap. And then everything blows up.
Well, yeah. So I think I actually have Doctor Strangelove on my computer because it was on YouTube free with ads. And so I went in and screen recorded it with OBS, which is the same software I use to make these videos anyway. And of course, because I have an ad block, it just didn't play ads through the whole thing. So that's actually something I recommend. Once a month, guys, if you go through the free with ads section of YouTube movies, you'll find a lot of good stuff. I think this month in September, which I don't know if they'll still be there by the time this goes up, but they had like the first 3 John Wick movies free with ads. Now sometimes you'll get like, I saw they had Braveheart on there, and I started to play it, and then it popped up a little thing that was like, this has been edited for content. I was like, what? And I scrolled through, and it took me a long time to find someone who said basically that it's basically a TV cut, and it was censoring all the language and stuff, and it's just like, well, I don't want that. I don't want a TV cut of these movies.
They may take our land, but they'll never take our freedom.
Oh yeah, so I didn't get that. Well, and plus, Braveheart's like 3 hours long and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and by the way, if you've never seen Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, it is one of the greatest films of all time.
I will actually look up right now and see if it's still on YouTube. It might be. It probably it's probably not really passed around by streaming or anything. So
yeah, it is in black and white.
Yeah. No, currently it's not free with ads. But I have it because I have a recording.
By the way,
of it.
if you're fascinated by that early 1960s Soviet Union United States relationship, the opposite side to Dr. Strangelove is a film called Failsafe, which is literally the same scenario. The U.S. during an alert tries to recall its bombers, and one group of them somehow glitches and doesn't come back, and the bomber makes its way towards Moscow, and the Russians refuse to believe that they won't be able to shoot it down, and the President of the United States says, "You got to believe me, this is going to hit you, so you need to get out, evacuate Moscow now." Anyway, it is very, very psychologically frightening to the very end. And then what the American president does at the end is, it's just, you want to talk about one of the great sacrifices of all time. It's just astounding. It makes your heart stop if you've never seen it. Failsafe, Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah. They may or may not be on YouTube free with ads. If not, they're probably on another streaming service somewhere.
Yeah.
Or,
the DVDs.
Or, buy the DVDs or Blu-rays if they're on Blu-ray, or just type in, watch Dr. Strangelove free online, but you didn't hear that from me. You don't need all of that in the Google search, but it's all there, so... or buy the DVD. That's probably the best way of doing it. Anywho, Doctor Who.
Back to Doctor Who. Hey, we actually got back to Doctor Who.
We did. Sometimes we don't. I'm not sure how much we talked about in the discussion of last episode, how much we actually talked about the episode. So,
anyway.
I guess the biggest thing from this episode is Amy and Rory and their relationship. And it's an interesting kind of development. I think earlier on you kind of compared him to Mickey, but it really does feel like Rory is just Mickey done right. Yeah. So, because he's questioning it as a normal person would, but I like how we don't get a lot of it here, but it's like it is also nice having a nurse, because he is a nurse, and it's just like, oh, he can tell like if the doctor is dead or not, like after being electrocuted. So, it's good, and it is kind of what the doctor says of like it's like, well, she was frightened, I was frightened, and I was just the only person there, so that's why she kissed me. If you were there, it would have been you. And pretty much at the end, that's exactly what happens. So it's just that she just needed to be pushed to the right person. So
and they, now that I'm thinking about it, they missed a nice little bit there when the doctor falls down on the staircase and Rory goes up and goes, "He's got 2 heartbeats."
Yeah, they probably should tell him that. So, but it's an interesting idea, and it also just becomes a very interesting dynamic now that we have Rory as a part of the team. Because again, like we had a little bit of that when Mickey joined in, and then we had, and we obviously had Captain Jack for a little bit, but it's just like this honestly becomes a more interesting dynamic than those where it's just like it's the Doctor and then Amy and Rory, and it just kind of works out.
Now, Martha, in the beginning, didn't Martha have kind of a boyfriend, but that got written out very quickly? I don't remember.
No, that was...
her sister?
Yeah, she had her whole family there, but it wasn't until the end where she was teamed up with that other guy during that year that the Master took over. So yeah.
Okay. And there weren't any couples like that other than, well, we make a couple of Ian and Barbara, but there weren't any real couples back in Classic Who, were there?
Nope, not really. So yeah, it definitely makes for an interesting dynamic, and Rory is a very beloved companion as well. So yeah. You got anything else?
I got nothing.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope nobody tracks percentages of how much we talk about Doctor Who versus how much we talk about literally anything else we could think of. So, but then again, nobody has complained about that in the 6 or 7 years we've been doing this anyway. So, it really, it's just how we roll. So,
by the way, the Silurians, the original Silurians, came up in my memories today, and when I posted it to Facebook, my caption was, "Shoot first, ask questions only if there are survivors."
Yeah, that was. I remember that episode being very being very topical. Wasn't there a part where I think it was in the Silurians where there was some vaccine they had to take or something, and the guy was like, "No, I don't believe there is a plague going on." That was we watched that in 2020 or 2021, and it was just this is odd.
Yeah, and I reread most of the comments, and it was who would have ever thought back in the 60s and 70s that there would be people who would actually say, "Oh no, I don't believe this vaccine is safe, and I don't believe in..."
Yeah, so every day the Third Doctor's era gets more and more topical. And it's weird because every Doctor Who era is political to some extent, but boy, that Third Doctor's era, probably just because he was on Earth in modern times, for most of it, but it's just whew, it's crazy. So, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. So,
what's up next time?
The next episode is called Amy's Choice. So, okay. And we also have to go watch a Torchwood episode.
Oh,
we're almost there. We're almost there, guys. We're gonna figure. I have no idea how we're going to fit in Torchwood season 3 because after the next episode of Doctor Who is another 2-parter. So I don't know. I mean, I guess worst case scenario, we'll just power through all of that in the single week.
Oof. But remember, we're on the second weekend of Brighton Beach Memoirs. Murder on the Orient Express closes November 2nd. And after that, at this point, I have no other commitments because we're renovating the new building for our new theater, and that may not open until sometime next summer, so I'll be free anytime you need me, pretty much.
Yeah. So, we'll also try to get through Sarah Jane Adventures, so, which will be better. It will be much better than watching Torchwood, but how many times can I say that in these videos? So, anywho. With all that being said, we're Alex and Dad from 7th Hour Films, and we will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of our modern Doctor Who reactions, as well as another playlist for all Doctor Who reactions that are on the channel. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.